little fighter. Um, she's, for all intents and purposes, she's a normal little girl. She's as naughty as her siblings, but she's one tough cookie, really. She's been through things that I think many adults wouldn't cope with since birth, basically. But above all of that, she's our daughter, and she's not just a person with a special medical need or anything like that to us. So at the end of the day, she's our Jude and our little daughter. She's a very happy kid. She wakes up every morning with a smile on her face. Um, it is a bit frustrating for her now and then to try and communicate with us, but she's figured out how, and we've learned how. But Jude is special because she's Jude. You know, she's been through all of this, and um, like I said, she still smiles every day. She still plays. So, what makes Jude special is that she's showing us that it doesn't matter what life throws at you, you can push through, even at her age. The way she's adapted and the way she's learned.
Very intelligent.
Yeah, very intelligent.
I think it started when we went for a sauna. Now we wanted to do is it a 3D or
For a
4D
4D
sauna?
scan.
It's one of those things where when you're pregnant, you want to see what is your baby gonna look like and things. And when I was lying there, the lady was very quiet when she was busy with the sauna. And I was wondering now, like, what is happening now? Because she's been silent like for a long time. And then eventually she came out with it and she says, and I'll never forget those words, something does not look right with her heart. And I started crying. And then Vaughn said, I must just calm down, let her finish. And then she said that it seems as though there's one hole in the heart. I think that is where it all started. And then immediately, that was the Thursday we went. I think the Monday we had to be in Cape Town. I was 33 weeks pregnant. We rode through to Cape Town. We went to go see another doctor there, the cardiologist there.
Yeah, pediatric cardiologist.
And he told us, he did the scans and everything, and he said that normally in this case, the holes close. You know, when the babies are born and things like that, the hole intends to close. And that is what we were hoping for, because there's just one hole. And Jude was born, everything was fine. The lady did another scan, and then they found out that the hole is still there, and there's 2 holes. I think that is when everything just went for me. We were referred to Bloom, to the specialist there, and every month checkups. She referred us further. We wanted actually a second opinion, got the second opinion, and then he referred us to Sunninghill in Johannesburg, and every single month from there onwards, we had to be in Joburg for checkups, as in every single month.
They told us that the holes had to be closed at some point, but we'll monitor. And at the same time, they also said that she's too small physically to do the open heart surgery. We went for the angiogram, and I think that was the first time also that they struggled with her airway, because when they tried to sedate her through intubation, they struggled. But eventually, long story short, they did the angio, and immediately after the angio, they sent her for a CT scan, because they couldn't understand why there was difficulty trying to put a tube down her airway. And then eventually, just before she was 18 months old, we could finally do the heart surgery. But to complicate matters even a bit further, when they tried to intubate her again, they also found that they couldn't, because her airway is too small. So they basically had to use a tube that is used for a newborn baby to put down her throat. And the concern at the time was they can't do the heart operation if she can't go under sedation. So they lasered, they dilated, they lasered the airways and all of that. It wasn't really successful, but then they used the smaller tube. The operation happened eventually. The operation was a success, the heart operation. They closed both her holes that was in her heart, the ASD and the VSD. that was closed. At the end, she also had pulmonary hypertension at the time, which was also a big cause of concern for us because that usually shortens a patient's lifespan to under 30 years. So all of that was already stressful. But then, like we said, the heart operation was a success, and we were just waiting for recovery. On the eve, like literally the night before we were supposed to come back to Kimberley, her heart rate just skyrocketed, and she was sweating and she couldn't breathe. And the doctors were called in about 3-4 o'clock in the morning. They were there very quickly and they rushed her back to theatre. They intubated again. We waited for Fazlin to come back from Kimberley, and that is when the doctors, the ENT, suggested that we rather do the trachea because her airway is blocked and she is struggling with her breathing. Yes. So I think that is where the one chapter ended and the next one started with the trachea. So her heart is fine, everything is fine, but now the next phase is trying to get her voice back.
Okay, so after we learned that Jude, the doctor said that she thinks the best option would then be that they do the tracheostomy and things. Vaughn called me. I was in Kimberley at the time, and Vaughn called me and he said, that they might put a trachea in, and I was against it. I was really against it, and he said, but there is no other way because it's the only way that she'll be able to breathe because she can't breathe on her own. And I asked, like, and her voice, because remember she had a voice, and Jude was learning to speak and everything. And the doctor then said, no, she'll be able to talk. She will still have a voice and things. And like I was against all of it. Okay, and then I thought, okay, it's fine. It has to be done. It's the only way. And I then drove through back to Johannesburg, and they took her to theatre to go do the trachea. And she came out and she had the trachea in, and everything was fine after that, like 2-3 days.
Yeah.
And the doctor said they're not going to keep her very long because she's doing well, the heart is fine, everything is fine. Say bye. Bye bye. Say bye, everybody.
Hello, baby.
And she said that we must just see that she talks because she'll be able to talk. And we waited for the suction machine to come. That we did a training how to do the trachea change and suction and all that things. And we came home, got the machine. We came home, and Jude was speaking, but there's no voice coming out. And I told Vaughn, I thought that the voice would be there. And then the doctor called and she asked me, is Jude speaking and stuff? And I said, Jude is speaking, but there's no sound coming out. And every time after that, when we went for checkups, she would then ask us, is Jude not talking? And I said, no, there's no voice. And that is where they took her. She said, no, they must go back to theatre to see what is happening. All of that jazz. And that was my now every month routine. Every second month, every month, go back, see what is happening, do scans. Why is Jude not talking? Why is there no voice and things? And for us, it's like Vaughn said in the beginning, it's frustrating for her because her siblings are running around and screaming and they playing together, but nobody understands Jude. Frustrating. Jude gets angry. Jude throws the things because there's no voice coming out. She's expressing, but nobody understands like what she's saying. But eventually, we learn like to adapt to her ways and try to understand what she's saying. Nah, not.
Yeah, no, look, we even tried to take her to some sign language classes and things, but I think it was just a bit too soon because she learns a few words. Say thank you to uncle with your hands. No?
Thank
How do
you.
you say thank you?
Thank
Say.
you.
And like our own little things that she thought of herself, like if she wants a
Don't
bottle.
put that in your mouth.
And if you want a bottle, how do
How
you
do you
say?
make bobo? Make bobo.
With your hands?
Bobo.
Yeah,
I
you want a bottle.
say,
So it's that's how she started to communicate with us, and like Fazna is saying, mouthing the words and all of that. But I think every time going back, the doctor asking, can she speak yet, yes or no, and all of that. Eventually, I think the severity of her case was it came to light because then first they thought the swelling was just around the vocal cords, and every time the scans that we did gave us more information with exactly how bad the swelling or the stenosis is. And with the last scans that we went to Johannesburg, you need to sit, my baby. Oh, do you want to go? Go. You come back now. Below our vocal cords,
come.
it's almost closed solid, you know. So
I'm gonna
that
fetch you
is why
now,
the
ne?
trachea
I'm
is
gonna
there
come fetch you
because
now.
there's no air coming through, and that is why she doesn't speak because our vocal cords need the air to create the vibrations so that the sound can come out. So that is where we are, and that is eventually when our ENT then told us that she's gonna have to refer us to Cape Town. That is our next journey. It's been tough, you know, like starting with a heart problem and sorting out the heart problem, and now we are trying to fight to get our voice back. So that is where we are right now. That's where we are today. Um, the trachea has become part of her life, you know. Don't cry. Last one. Make a last one. Can we do one more? Finished. Okay.
Cough quickly.
For cough.
Cough.
I say.
Thank you. Thank you.
Say.
Thank you.
Lift up, baby. I say.
I'm tired now.
She's tired now.
Oh, come on.
And then, yeah, that's basically what we do 2-3 times a day. And I always say it's a bit unfair for someone so small to be used to something like that already. You know, I think it's a bit unfair, but it's the cards that we've been dealt, and we are making the best of it and trying to get past this phase of our life to help us start the next.
I think if she wasn't so a pleasant child and things, and she makes it easier for us,
Yeah.
by telling us she needs a new filter, or she makes so she needs to be suctioned, so she makes it easier for us as well.
So
The only thing that is like delayed is now that she can't go to school and things because technically she needs somebody to look after her, with regards to the secretions and all that thing. So nobody else will be able to do that. That is why we have daddy.
what we're doing next is we need to go to Cape Town. So the first week of September, we are going to see also an ENT in Cape Town that she's going to do a bronchoscope. I think they want to see if everything, to put it in layman's terms, they just want to see if everything is okay um, with regards to doing the operation. So if everything is okay and they can go ahead with that. So that is the first thing.
It is a 3 procedure.
More than, but
Yeah.
basically it can be more than 3 procedures in the next year or
Yeah.
two. So the first step, we had a call with the ENTs in Cape Town, the doctor that's heading the whole process. They explained everything to us, what's going to happen, etc., etc. And then the next call will be in August with the doctor that's going to do the bronchoscope. And just for that call alone is going to be about just under 4,000 Rand just for a Zoom call. Because they're now charging, like sometimes when you go to the doctor, even if you have medical aid, you have to pay
A
something. Yeah,
consultation
the
fee.
consultation fee. Fazlin's medical aid covers about 90% of everything. So like the big procedures and all of that, that is covered. However, things like blood tests.
So certain things like that, or like the physio
Mm,
and things like that,
yeah.
ne?
We still get bills, even though the medical aid, like I said, covers. So that is the first part of why we started this campaign, to at least plug the holes that the medical aid doesn't always cover. And then secondly, going to Joburg, we could manage. It's not that far. Um, we have family in Joburg that was always kind enough to give us a space to stay if we needed. But now Cape Town is more than twice as far, for number one, and especially with a bigger operation in October, we would like to be close to her. There's always that fear
Should
something might
something.
happen, and when the kids are in ICU, the parents can't stay with them, so just to be closer. So th- all the funding that we get, or the donations and everything that we get from this campaigns and stuff that we're running, it will go towards accommodation, and transport. Furthermore, we don't know, after the operation, we don't know yet, will the doctors allow her to sit in a car for 10 hours, or should we fly back? This campaign is basically just to make it a bit easier to do the things that we have to do, because I think if we hadn't received as much support and donations as we've gotten over the past few weeks, it would have perhaps been a bit more difficult to do these things, because at the end of the day, and a person don't like to think about money and things at times like this, but unfortunately, you do need finances to do the things that you need to do at the end of the day. So that is why I came up with this campaign, 300 Rand photo shoot, and it's something, it adds, instead of just asking for please donate, please donate, please donate. We thought that instead of just asking for money, give
Give
something
something.
back, because people give most of the time and then they never hear from the people again. Or it's just thank you and then I said, at least if you do the photo shoot, then you have something to remind you of the time that you helped someone. For me, that was the main thing, because I mean, it's not always easy to just ask for money without anything. So we are doing all of this just for her, so that she can have her voice back, so we can hear her scream, shout, and be naughty and all of that, like she's supposed to be at 3 years old. But yeah, that's where this campaign started, and I think that's why also it's important that we do this that we're doing today, because it gives people uh, a little bit more insight, and just to see what we're going through and what we've been going through and why everything is the way it is currently.
And also take like everybody on this journey with us, So if we go to Cape Town and things like that, obviously, I will put it on social media and things just to like inform people, you know, with regards to her health and, you know, the way forward and all those things. So yeah.
And without without all the donations and prayers and well wishes, this whole process would have been so much more difficult. And it's amazing to realize that the people who are helping you, apart from our friends and family, there are so many strangers who's coming out of the woodworks and just giving, and not just money. Like I said, even prayers and well wishes, that makes this whole process easier. And what I would like to tell the people is like, we like words can't express how thankful we are, and then like so yeah, words can't express how thankful we are for every single person who's given time or money, or like I said, just a simple WhatsApp message. They all help. And something that I would like to take forward from this is to continue this tradition of giving in our family. Teach our kids that always help those that's got the need, because you never know when you might be the next person who might ask for something or who might need something in life. So that is what I would like to carry forward, even if all the funding and all the well wishes and everything stopped right now today. It's there already. So we're gonna take that with us from here on. And like I said, I would like this to be my family's legacy, to make sure that, because not because we were helped, but realizing that helping is, how do I that just to help means so much. To help somebody in need, it already means so much. So I would just like this to stay in my family. And what are you doing? Okay, my baby. Yeah, and that is what I'm gonna do from here on. Remind my children, teach them to give, share, and always make sure that we are grateful for every single thing that we receive, and not just expect, be those people that just expect help when you ask. So we appreciate every single.
Come, Sotra.
I'm gonna repeat myself again, but we appreciate every single cent, every single WhatsApp, every prayer, everything. So just to make our little Jude's life easier, because we can't wait for her to go to school when she's 5, 6 years old, and just live a as normal as possible
Doing
life
Popo.
from here. And that is the whole point of this thing. We just want her
Make now.
to
Oh, my sis.
to be everything that she can be.
Don't take it. It's gonna make
I
a
think
noise.
that's it.
It's gonna
That's
make
what
a
it comes
noise.
down to.
Jude, I want you to sit there by mommy and daddy and give me the biggest wave. Are you ready?
One wave,
Wave. Tap,
big one, big
both
one,
hands,
both
both
hands.
hands. And a smile.
The pretty one,
And a pretty smile.
in a pose.
And a pose. E Juju. E Chucky.